Sony, what are you doing? Why do you have this incessant need to constantly feed the dumpster fire of franchises you have? Yeah, Starship Troopers, let's throw that in the dumpster fire. Resident Evil, yeah, let's throw that in the dumpster fire. Underworld, yeah, we'll throw that in the dumpster fire. Ghostbusters, God, I wish I was around for the whole Ghostbusters thing, because that looked like fun. Yeah, let's throw the Ghostbusters franchise in the dumpster fire. It's like, oh, X-Men, okay, X-Men, the X-Men I can understand. It's like, hey, Marvel, you want the X-Men franchise? Here, go fetch! Throw it in the dumpster fire. Well, obviously Marvel went, screw you, went in the dumpster fire and grabbed it. So you're going, oh crap, what franchise can we use to replace the X-Men franchise we threw into the dumpster fire? You looked around, hey, MIB, let's throw that in the dumpster fire. Jesus Christ, Sony, you're just... I mean, I understand you need to appeal to as wide a range of an audience as possible, but not multiple different ones. You can't try to appease those who have already seen the original 3 movies, but at the same time try to gear the movie and appease those who are new to the franchise. It's not going to work. I mean, like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. There's the one scene where Molly becomes part of the MIB, and she walks into a hallway, and there's that little fuzzy little alien creature comes up to her, and she's bending over, and then somebody yells, "Don't touch it!" But she ends up touching it, and it all just separates into like 100 little alien creatures, and then that's it. The scene ends. Well, that scene's whole purpose was to go as a callback to, remember that scene in the original one where Will Smith, touched that little ball and it just fired around or whatever? Yeah, that alien scene is nothing more than a callback to that scene. But again, but no, because the scene with the ball with Will Smith was more than just that scene. It was part of a larger scene, which was, explaining how MIB got funded, how it works, what it does, all the weird gadgets they have, how the human language is like a virus or something, like because of the universal translator. It was literally part of a larger scene of the world building that made the first movie so interesting and so well received. But in international, it's just a scene simply for the scene of going, yeah, remember that other scene in the first one? And then you got the other audience coming into the franchise fresh and going, yeah, okay, so she touched an alien and it separated, big deal. There was no... What was the result of that? What was the purpose? It was nothing. So you did something to call back from the original that had no value in and of itself, and you had a scene for the newcomers that was irrelevant and had no value in and of itself. That's one of the overarching problems with MIB International. The other one is, did the mission of MIB change from the third movie? Because if I remember correctly, the idea was not to have people know that MIB exists, not to have people know that Alien exists. Well, this movie screws that all out, throws that all out the window. I mean, Agent H and Agent M are driving that high-tech alien type motorcycle all around through the city. Well, excuse me, everybody can see you, but no, wait a minute. There's that one scene where they land and they use the neuralizer that one time for that one group of people, as if that somehow covers up the fact that they were, flying throughout the city and everybody else kind of noticed them, and like aliens are like almost like common now. It's like they're not even trying to hide the fact that you're an alien anymore. You can just walk around. And then we have this whole international thing, which kind of changes the whole aspect of the franchise. I mean, in the original movies, you only had the one building and the one group of employees, I guess. But now you apparently have branches all over the world with what seems to be unlimited resources and an unlimited budget. I mean, the train alone was like a little overdone, don't you think? And you can only use special effects to cover up how the rest of the movie lacks in so many other ways. Like, special effects does not a movie make. Well, according to George Lucas, 40 years ago, but how times have changed. There's just so little to recommend. I mean, even the characters, it's like Agent X or Agent H, Chris Hemsworth. I mean, the odd thing with Chris Hemsworth is he plays Thor, and then they change Thor to make him a goofy character. He's in Ghostbusters, and he plays the part of the secretary and is now a goofy version of the secretary. So now he's playing an MIB agent, and now he's a goofy version of an MIB agent. Because like in the original ones, Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones were pretty much, playing it straight. But in this one, Molly's playing it kind of straight, but Chris Hemsworth is playing absolute goofball. It's like, what a weird typecasting situation he's in. Any original character he plays, he's now playing the goofball version of it. Anyway, not only that, why Agent H was still an agent doesn't even make sense in the movie, because apparently T was covering for him. But why would T cover for him when he's when Chris Hemsworth's character is the loose end? Because at the end of the movie, when they're in that elevator ride and Molly, pushes him about what happened that night, and he keeps just saying the same thing over and over again, and within 10 seconds they kind of realize, hey, you don't know what happened, you were obviously neuralized and you're repeating the same line. Well, you mean this is the first time anybody's ever actually questioned Agent H over what happened? Like, wouldn't he have been grilled at the moment he came back by the rest of his superiors about what happened that night? But apparently not. So T, who's apparently the part of the hive, why would he have kept him around? He would have killed him, so that way nobody would have known he was neuralized and that he didn't know what happened. And then as for the beginning of the movie, okay, not at the very beginning, but like with the Molly part, when she's a kid, you have the agents show up at the house, talk to the parents, literally explain to the parents why they're there, about the alien creature they're there for, neuralize the parents, and then the agents leave. It's like, well, wait a minute. Did the agents come specifically to the house just to neuralize the parents? Because apparently they didn't stick around to try and find the alien that they were supposed. I mean, did they not come for the alien, or did they just come to neuralize the parents? Like, and it seemed like a really cheap way of having it so that Molly, as a child, knew about MIB. It was just, I mean, there's suspension of disbelief, but then now we're getting into brain dead stupid territory here. as for Molly, I kind of I liked her character. It just seemed weird to me that she had to be a super genius, because in the first movie, the qualifications to be an MIB agent weren't really that tough. I mean, Will Smith's character became an agent because he could run fast and keep up with that alien he was chasing. And at the end of the first movie, the coroner becomes an agent because, oh, why not? Because Will Smith said, why not? So it was odd to me that she had to be a super genius just to find it or whatever. But then near the end of the movie, or even like halfway through and on, apparently she knows everything. Like, she gets that box and it turns into that super weapon, and apparently within seconds knows exactly how it works. And it's like, movie, you're just... But overall, I thought her character was fine. The one character in this movie that I am absolutely conflicted over is Pawnee, because he's ridiculous, he's incredibly forced, but he has the best dialogue and has the funniest lines and is the most interesting character in the movie. And even at the end of the movie, when Molly gets sucked into that vortex or whatever the hell that was, probably the leftover from the Dark Phoenix miasma. But yeah, apparently, they took it from Dark Phoenix, said, hey, you know what, let's just use it over again, brought it into this movie and just changed the color, whatever. But even when she was sucked into that and Pawnee saves her, it was still forced and it was still ridiculous, but at the same time was logical and made sense, and it worked. So Pawnee has good and bad. So there's really not much else I want to talk about, because it's a not worth movie, to be quite honest. Watch it so that you can, discuss it with your friends and complain online about it like so many other people are, so why the hell not? Anyway, that's it for me. I'm done. I'm done with this movie. It's like, I want to say something positive, but all I can really think of is it's mediocre and it's not as bad as it could have been, I guess. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm out of here. See ya.